Mercury in Sagittarius is a fairly straightforward, good placement. Let's just take a look at why. The first thing that should come to your mind is that Mercury is the planet of intellect, and Sagittarius is a fairly intellectual sign. Specifically, it's a sign of education and educators. So you have a resonance between having the planet that represents your intellect and a sign that represents education. So the expected result here is the native will like to learn things, be good at learning things, have an intellect that's well suited to education. In particular, they would like Sagittarian or Jupiterian type of subjects and excel in those the most. So those would be things like morality, ethics, or law, or philosophy type of subjects. But this also means just that the basic underpinning of how their intellect works is good and organized, and so in general they're also well suited to learn anything. As a result, classic texts describe Mercury in Sagittarius as being likely to get honors or certificates or diplomas. So they're not likely to get noticed and recognized for their skills and talents. The next thing I'd like to discuss is just the converse of this. Mercury is the planet of communication. Sagittarius is the sign for teachers. Teachers are communicators, the givers of information. So another theme indicated by Mercury in Sagittarius is a good ability to teach or give information and a liking for it. And so they have the general tools that a teacher needs, which is communication skills and vocabulary, language, linguistic skills. The final thing I'd like to discuss about Mercury and Sagittarius is a bit of a non-harmonious relationship. It's not exactly a disharmonious resonance, but it's kind of going that way. Sagittarius is a very lofty sign. It's signified by an archer who aims high and far. Mercury is not really a lofty planet. Mercury is a playful planet. But the reason why I don't say this is a dissonance all the way is because lofty and light, Mercury is a light planet. Lofty also works well when things are light. But yet, lofty is not quite the same as lighthearted, so it's kind of an iffy resonance here. The result of it is that Sagittarian Mercury natives are easily inspired. They easily get aroused and inspired or lifted up. But as a bit of a side effect to that, because of being easily inspired, they don't always focus on something very well. They move to another thing really fast. Similarly, it's easy for the Sagittarian Mercury to have a lot of plans, big plans, goals, lots of high goals, big goals. And that's great, but these goals may not always be particularly practical or realistic. Now, what we do in these videos with the planets and the signs is I show you a consistent technique that you can use for any planet and any sign. And the technique is very simple. You look for where the planet symbolizes something that's very, very similar to what the sign symbolizes. And once you find that, you assess whether or not the planet and the sign are harmonious about that thing or whether they're antithetical about that thing. The dissonant resonance reveals what's complex or difficult for the native. The harmonious resonance, on the other hand, indicates what's easy, what comes natural, what's an inherent strength for the native. What I'm teaching you really is the method of how to do astrological interpretation by going down into the engine of the symbolism and comparing the parts. The actual interpretation that you should give is going to be individualized per the individual chart. So if you have person A with the moon in Scorpio and person B with the moon in Scorpio, it's not going to be exactly the same interpretation. Because person B's moon might have an aspect from something and person A's moon doesn't, etc., 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 etc. But what I'm showing you in the videos is the backbone of what a planet and a sign symbolizes. And once you understand that backbone, you modify it based on the circumstances extraneous circumstances that are affecting an individual chart. So I hope you really like this system, not just this one video, but all the videos that we do on the planets and the signs. We'll do them all. And I hope you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of those. And I hope to see you around soon. Thank you.